Montanans deserve more. This is a presentation on Northwestern Energy's plans for more natural gas power plants and the way that Northwestern Energy is harming the people reliant on them for its electricity. Northwestern Energy has had a controversial year, starting in April with their initially proposed Senate Bill 379, which would have made it so any monetary cost from failed investments into coal plants would have fallen directly onto ratepayers, allowing Northwestern Energy to make a massive profit with no risk associated. This bill signaled Northwestern Energy's non interest in renewable sources, as well as demonstrating Northwestern Energy's complete dedication to profits. The Public Service Commission, which regulates Northwestern Energy, unanimously opposed this bill, with one of the Public Service Commissioners saying he couldn't remember a bill more tilted exclusively to the benefit of a utility and to the detriment of ratepayers. Northwestern's long term plan has serious detriments when it comes to acknowledging the effects of climate change, and it plans to put any cost associated with negative environmental decisions into the hands of ratepayers. Northwestern's overall plan is to push for natural gas and other long term non renewable energies, while the legislature is still friendly to non renewables. Northwestern Energy is using the Northwest's energy drought as a reason for needing to build non renewables. Because of droughts, hydroelectric power generation is down, which is creating more stress on the system. This creates the worry that when coal power plants begin to shut down across the Northwest, there may not be enough energy generation to avoid rolling blackouts. However, the current estimations by the Northwest Power Pool is that it would be about 3 days of rolling blackouts per 10 years. Along with the natural gas plants, which they plan to build, Northwestern Energy has also proposed a 50 megawatt battery plant, which would help with renewable resource generation in the long term. These proposals are seen favorably by the Montana Petroleum Association, which believes that funding plants like these help with cementing the continued use of oil refineries that the group represents. A recent turn in the Northwestern's plans is their decision to begin building the Laurel natural gas plant before the approval of the Public Service Commission. This approval would have allowed Northwest Energy to know that they would be refunded for the cost of the plant. Now there is some question about whether they will be refunded after finishing the plant, which is planned by 2024. The implications of Northwestern's recent actions is that they wanted to push as much of the cost onto the people of Montana as possible, as well as push any risk for bad investments onto Montanans as well. Northwestern's Energy is arguing that another natural gas plant is in the public's best interest, while also seeking a 7% rate of return overall on the investment. Along with this, there have been several holes in the plans presented by Northwestern Energy, mainly that Northwestern Energy may not need to build new plants to provide energy. Nearly 50% of Montana's energy during peak times is purchased from out of state. Northwestern has struggled to justify the new plants because even with a new plant in Montana, it is still very likely the energy would continue to flow from out of state, which may be cheaper for ratepayers. There seems to be a conflict of interests in the proposed plans where the company, granted a monopoly by the people of the state, is trying to exploit those people in turn. The energy storage design has been acknowledged as a good idea, but the natural gas plant will not serve the people of Montana. It will pollute the environment and slow down human combatants of climate change. Montanans deserve more, and climate change is not an issue that should be put off. If natural gas plants go along, they will continue to pump damaging pollution into the air, which is not good locally and globally is one of the main ways that climate change continues. Northwestern Energy needs to modernize its understanding of climate change and realize the damage that can be done. This is a tragedy of the common scenario, where Northwestern Energy might benefit from the creation of natural gas plants in the short term, But if every energy group thinks like this, the finite resources of the Earth will be burned out before any change is made. As we have discussed so much in class, the technology for renewables is there and getting better every day. Northwestern Energy needs to utilize it. Montana has massive potential for hydroelectric and wind energy, though hydroelectric can be damaging in different environmental sense. Nuclear is another energy source that could provide strong, long-term energy to Montanans without the need for extra battery banks. Advances in technology in nuclear make it a viable energy source, which has been shown to be safe. There are many choices for Northwestern Energy to make, and natural gas is the wrong one. To the class of 2070, I hope that our generation has done enough so that you have the beautiful natural world still available to you. I chose Montana because of its wilderness, and I hope you still had that option. Northwestern Energy is ignoring the long-term implications of its problematic energy policy, but I am hopeful that our generation can make the changes required to combat climate change. Our government is run by a powerful group of conservatives that refuses to acknowledge the damage they are doing to future generations. They are old and not worried about the issues that will not affect them directly. It feels like this is starting to shift, however. I just do not know if it will be fast enough. There are many steps we can take towards avoiding severe climate change. However, the biggest one is making it clear to our energy providers that we will not tolerate the continued use of non-renewable sources.